Hello, I'm Jon Sermon. I'm a church leader based in East Anglia in the UK, and I'm recording videos quite often at the moment, putting them out there in the hope that it's an encouragement to you. That's the whole purpose of these videos. I started early in the first lockdown, and facing the COVID situation, I believe we all need some encouragement. But right now I'm recording this one with less than a week to go till Christmas Day. And again, here in the UK, and indeed in many countries, I suspect, news of rising numbers of the infection is competing, as it were, with the hope that comes from the fact that we're beginning to roll out vaccines. We're still in an in-between stage where the dangers remain, the need for caution, the new way that we hope to come to at the other side of all of this is still some way off, and we're still needing encouragement. But it's nearly Christmas, and I know there's been a lot of talk about how Christmas, as we would normally celebrate it, is cancelled or on hold or whatever term you use. But at the same time, the real basis, meaning of Christmas is to do with the coming of Christ. I know it sounds obvious, the word has Christ, and that's the coming of Christ, that's what it means. But in our culture, at least here in the UK, we have tended to drift into thinking more about the ways we get together and the ways we celebrate and the food and drink, rather than the reason for the celebration. As I put on the big card I made for our church, Jesus is the reason for the season. Well, thinking about that, I was preparing for some of our worship services over the Christmas period, and amongst other things, I just want to take you to a short extract in Matthew's Gospel. Matthew is the first book in the New Testament section of the Bible, the section that's all about the coming of Jesus and thereafter. And there's a description of the birth of Jesus in Matthew's Gospel, and how Joseph, who was pledged to be married to Mary, found she was pregnant and knew he wasn't the reason, and was minded to do a sort of a low-key, discreet divorce sort of situation. And yet he was torn because, this all felt wrong going ahead with the marriage, but on the other hand, he didn't want to expose Mary to public shame. And as he was thinking about this, he had a dream in which an angel of God appeared to him and told him, actually, you don't need to worry about marrying her. This is a miraculous virgin birth. This is God's Son conceived within her. And you're to be the human father. And what it goes on to tell us is that when Joseph realized this, he was okay with it, and he went ahead with the wedding and everything. And then it tells us this in Matthew chapter 1 verse 22, and all this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the prophet. Well, there's numerous prophecies in the Old Testament part of the Bible that this could refer to, but in particular this follows up with the instruction given to Joseph by this angel in a dream, in which the angel says, but she, Mary, will give birth to a son, and you to give him the name Jesus. And then he adds these words, because he will save his people from their sins. Now, in our culture, it's a bit unfashionable to talk about sins and the things we do wrong and how that messes up our relationship with God, our Creator. But at the same time, it's important to notice what this implies, that the coming of Jesus was more than just the birth of a very special baby. God in human form, Emmanuel is the term that's used in the Bible, that literally means God with us. but God with us for a purpose. And in this limited little phrase, because he will save his people from their sins, we have the foreshadowing of the death of Jesus on the cross for a reason. For a reason that our mess, the things we get wrong that spoil our relationship with God, do get in the way. And Jesus volunteered to take that mess on himself when he took it to the cross. So all the difficult situations we're in, the opportunity to come into a new and renewed, restored relationship with our Creator, to know forgiveness, to know our place with God, even in these difficulties, that is the good news that Christmas, the coming of Christ, reminds us of. If this is new to you, or unfamiliar, or something you had never really realised, it's worth exploring it further. Get in touch with me or your local church or anyone you can who is able to help you understand more and experience more of what it is to know a restored relationship with God. God bless you this Christmas season.